Hi all of you students. Today I am going to teach you Kubla Khan by S.T. Coleridge. Just keep the original poem in front of you so that when I am discussing Kubla Khan, you may be able to understand the original lines which are in front of you and how am I explaining in detail. First of all, if you see the lines 1 to 11, lines 1 to 11, first concentrate on these 11 lines where Kubla Khan ordered a magnificent pleasure palace to be built for him in Xanadu. उसके लिए ये बंगला बनना चाहिए कहां पे? Xanadu में. And the palace was to be situated on the bank of that very sacred river which is known as Alf. उसके नदी किनारे होना चाहिए. वो नदी का नाम है Alf, which flowing through immeasurably deep caves ultimately sank into a dark subterranean sea. So, ऐसे में क्या हुआ? A piece of fertile land, 10 square miles in area. कितना area? 10 square miles. It was enclosed with walls and big towers. So this place had bright gardens, winding streams, and aromatic trees जिनमें सुगंध आती है. And those trees which were bearing sweet smelling flowers. There were also forests as old as hills, enclosing in their midst sunny spaces full of green spots. बीच बीच में green spots भी थे. ऐसा चित्रण कुबला खान के शुरुआत के 1 to 11 लाइन्स में किया गया है कोलरिज के द्वारा. Now, we talk about lines 12 to 16. ये हो गया. अब ये next. In these lines, if you see in your original text, the most remarkable thing at this place was a deep, mysterious gorge. एक बहुत ही गहरा, बहुत ही mysterious गड्ढा था that ran down the slope of a green hill across a wood of cedar trees, which was a wild and awe-inspiring place, as holy, as bewitching, as captivating as the one haunted by a woman wandering about in search of her demon lover in the dim light of the waning moon. Because the demon appeared to the woman as a lover, and after having made love to her, deserted her. उसको छोड़ दिया, उसको धोखा दे दिया. And the woman, unable to forget this man, but fully realizing that he was a demon that actually haunts such wild places to look for him. उसको देखने के लिए he was that wild places she has taken to look for him or to search for him. Fine. Now, line 17 to 24. This paragraph or this section where Coleridge is showing a powerful spring of water gushing forth from this gorge at momentary intervals. Momentary मतलब होता है रुक रुक करके. Making an incessant roaring sound. And the spring violently emitting huge masses of water which looked like the heavily gasping earth. ऐसा लग रहा है कि अर्थ जो है वो गैस्प कर रही है, वो सांसें भर रही है. So the powerful outburst of water that actually threw up huge fragments of rocks that fell on the earth and rebounded like hailstones, striking the earth and flying off, or like grains leaping up from the earth when beaten with a flail by a farmer who is trying to separate them from the chaff. जैसे कोई भी किसान गेहूं को उसके छिलके से अलग करता है, वैसे लग रहा है कि huge fragments of rocks that are falling on the earth and rebounding like the hailstones, flying off like the grains coming out of its shaft as a farmer does it regularly in the season. Fine. Now, lines 25 to 35. In this section, Coleridge elaborates about that sacred river Alph, which followed a 5-mile long winding course through the woods and the valleys. And then what happened? It entered the immeasurably deep caves and finally sank in the Dead Sea, producing a loud noise. और इसी noise के दौरान, amidst this noise, Kubla Khan heard the voices of his ancestors, अपने पूर्वजों की आवाज उसने सुनी, who were prophesying the future wars. And the pleasure palace was built somewhere midway, बीचों बीच, between the mighty spring and the caves, which was actually measureless to man. और पैलेस से सुना जा सकता था. From the palace could be heard the mixed sounds of the water gushing forth from the spring and the water noisily, आवाज करता हुआ, flowing through the caves. जैसे केव से आवाज निकलती है जब पानी कलकल करके आता है. And the pleasure palace was a specimen of amazing architectural skill. It had sunny domes, but icy old underground walls. Now, lines 36 to 54. In these lines, कोलिज का ये कहना है कि एक बार, once in a very strange vision, the poet ने क्या देखा? The poet saw an Abyssinian maid. Abyssinian की spelling Abyssian. Abyssinian. Abyssinian. Abyssinian maid. यहाँ लिख लीजिए maid. Once in a very strange vision, the poet saw an Abyssinian maid playing on her dulcimer. किसमें वो खेल रही थी? Dulcimer. Dulcimer. Playing on her dulcimer and singing a sweet song about Mount Abora. Mount Abora के बारे में वो सुंदर गीत गा रही थी. And the poet says that if he could recapture that sweet melody of the Abyssinian maid, it would actually fill him with such a divine inspiration that he would write powerful poetry to give a vivid description of Kubla Khan's pleasure palace, and all those who heard him would be able to see that palace in the air, means in the imagination. And then they would think of the poet as a mighty magician. They would see his floating hair and his flashing eyes and would be filled with great awe and fear. They would go around him thrice, 3 बार, to protect themselves from his magical powers. And his poetic frenzy would make them think that he was a superhuman being fed on a honeydew and the milk of paradise, and they would warn one another to keep away from him. उसे दूर रहने के लिए उसको warn करेंगे. So this was actually the one-to-one, understanding in the line-wise context, which I have tried to explain you, of Kubla Khan. And now, I would also like to make some discussion about its critical summary, about the critical things. Who was Kubla Khan? आपके मन में एक प्रश्न आएगा. Who was Kubla Khan? He was a great Oriental king. He was a great Oriental king. He once ordered that a magnificent pleasure palace to be built for him in Xanadu, where the sacred river Alph, winding its course through immeasurably deep caves, ultimately sank into a dark subterranean sea, and so a fertile tract of land about 10 square meters or miles in area was enclosed with walls and towers. And this piece of land, with streams, their way to the gardens and ancient forests enclosing the bright plots, green spots, actually it presented a spectacle of rich profusion. And next, the poet Coleridge describes the source of the river Alph. There was a deep, mysterious-looking, awe-inspiring chasm that slanted down a green hill across a screen made by cedar trees. And it was a savage, holy, enchanted place, the kind of place frequented by a woman desperately wandering about in search for a waning moon, in search of her demon lover, who after making love to her deserts her. And a mighty fountain issued from this chasm intermittently. और जैसे ही पानी निकलता है, as the water gushed out, it flung about the huge pieces of rock in the same way in which the hailstones rebound from the earth, or the chaffy grains flings about the thresher's flail, जो मैंने आपको बताया भी था कि जैसे किसान एक गेहूं के दाने को उसके शाफ्ट से निकालता है, उसी प्रकार से. And the river Alph, issuing from this mountain, flowed for 5 miles through the woods, flowed through the valleys, entered the deep caves, and finally sank into the sunless sea with a loud and tumultuous noise. और इसी बीच में, in the midst of this tumult, Kubla Khan could hear from far the voices of his ancestors predicting a war in the near future and exhorting him to be prepared for it. And the dome presented a great marvel of human skill. So, this is actually which I am explaining in critical analysis in short, though the details which I've already taught you, I am trying to explain it in less words and in a much faster speed. And yes, it was a sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice, and its shadow fell midway on the river. And while standing there or here, one could hear the mingled noises from the fountain, from the caves, all blended together. और अगर आप दूसरे part of the poem को देखें, in the second part of the poem, Coleridge is actually giving a beautiful and a vivid picture of the poet who is caught in the spell of poetic imagination. एक बार उसने अपने विजन में he saw the Abyssinian maid playing on her dulcimer lyre and singing of the wild splendor of the Mount Abora. And yes, no doubt, it was a great song indeed. And the poet says that if he could recreate in his imagination the sweet music of the Abyssinian maid, it would give him a melodious joy. It could give him the ecstatic joy, and he would feel so inspired that with the music of his poetry, he would build Kubla Khan's pleasure dome in the air, in the imagination. दूसरे शब्दों में अगर हम कहें, he would give such a vivid description of the pleasure dome that his listeners would actually begin to see in their imagination. वो ऐसा खूबसूरत description देगा कि लोग उसको imagination में ही देख करके खुश हो जाएंगे, and they would regard him as a mighty magician, a superhuman being who has fed on honey dew and drunk the milk of paradise. They would mark his flashing eyes and floating hair, weave a circle around him thrice, and close their eyes in the holy dread. And the whole idea is that a poet caught in the spell of poetic inspiration transcends his mundane existence and becomes a superhuman being. So this was all about Kubla Khan, which I have explained you first in the line-wise context detailing, and then tried to give you a total critical analysis, a summary in short. And I'm sure this lecture would give you all the pleasure, all the detailings to understand Kubla Khan in a much better way. Thank you.